If you're looking to build a PC that can game and stream in 2020, this is it. Hey YouTube, hope you're having a great morning so far. I'm Danny and this is Danny's Tech Channel. You know what? I'm going to start using the channel icon in the title. Welcome to DTC. On this channel, we talk about hardware reviews, perform how-to videos, and build complete PCs. This is going to be a two-part episode where I put together a gaming and streaming PC for under $800. So I'm going to give you all the info about the parts today, and then in a later episode, I will actually build the PC. Make sure you subscribe down below and turn on your notifications so you'll catch the follow-up video to this. If you want to catch some secrets about buying parts, stay to the end of the video because I'm going to give you a couple tips when I'm buying parts so you don't overspend. Let's get into the video. Today I'm going to take you through the process of figuring out which parts to use and why. I'm going to be using PC Part Picker today for this because they lay out really nicely what parts you have selected and then also give you the best price comparison of who has the best deal at the time. So this is what the PC Part Picker list looks like if you haven't already used it before. You can just go down the list here and click on each component and then you can select. It'll be blue buttons the whole way down before you add your components, and you'll just click the blue button to add a CPU, a cooler, a motherboard, whatever you decide you want to go with. It has everything in here. First thing I chose is the Ryzen 5 3600. This is a 6-core 12-thread processor and boost to 4.2 gigahertz. This is probably the best option as far as any real gaming productivity. I mean, it is a great all-around processor. This is the newest family out right now. As I outlined in one of my other videos, Ryzen 4000 will be coming out this year according to AMD, but as you'll see in a second, if I move on to the motherboard, you'll be able to upgrade from this and not overspend on anything. This isn't going to create any kind of bottlenecks, and it's a really good price. You can get these right now, as you can see on Walmart's website for $174.99. They are going up in price. I think I jumped onto Newegg a little while ago and it was almost $180 for this processor. You just got to grab it while you can. This is your best bet to not create any kind of gaming bottlenecking. But anyway, moving on to the motherboard, I'm actually going to be using MSI's B550M Mortar Wi-Fi. I'm recommending this instead. This is the B550M Bazooka. It comes in at a better price. Right now you pick them up for $133.98. These prices are all in USD, by the way. This is just where I'm located, so this is easy for me to click and find prices. So comparatively, you'll have to shop around on your own. Anyways, so the B550M Mortar, which I'll be using, I got it on release day. It's a micro ATX size form factor. The reason I picked it up is the cooling solution is really good. You have all of the upgrade options for B550, which is the Ryzen 4000 support, PCI Gen 4 for your storage and your top slot on your graphics card. It's really the whole package. It's like X570, but for a lower price. But as of right now, you can't find them anywhere. B550 is the newest chipset from AMD. This is why I'm recommending to go with them, because if you jump into the newest chipset, you know you're gonna have compatibility for a long time. And coupling it with your Ryzen 5 3600, it's just a no-brainer for value and for performance. The only thing I can say left over about these B550 motherboards is don't overspend on the motherboard. Just make sure you're looking at the MSRPs on these boards. That way you don't overspend. For the RAM, I'm using Corsair's Vengeance LPX 16 gigs. It's a 2x8 gig kit at 3200 megahertz CL16. The price here is showing $46, but every time I jump to it, it's showing $59.99. I put all my parts into a cart on Newegg, and that seems to be the going rate for 16 gigs of 3200 megahertz RAM. It's a real sweet spot for gaming. I'm gonna be using a kit that I have. It's the G-Skill Trident Z RAM. I did it in my recent build where I did the Fantex P400A review. It's just the kit I have on hand. It's a really good kit. But like I said, you can pick up any of these kits on sale. Just kind of keep your eye out. For storage, I'm using the Crucial P1 500 gig M.2 SSD. This is an NVMe drive. Look at this price. You're talking $59.99 for 500 gigs of NVMe storage. No one else comes close for that. And I've used these. I have a stack of them over there that I've been picking up just because the price is so good, and I love using them in everything that I've been doing lately. Most of these motherboards have more than one slot. You have your M.2 storage up here with a heatsink, and then you have M.2 down here, and you have plenty of SATA ports on the side here. So highly recommend this storage drive. Next thing on the list is your power supply. The power supply is really important because you want something that's powerful enough to handle the components you have now, but you don't want to overspend on it, especially with stock right now because power supplies are so limited. They are coming back in stock slowly but surely, but everybody that wants to build is snatching them up right away, including myself. So as far as power supplies go, what I have here selected is the EVGA BQ 500 watt 80 plus bronze. This is a semi-modular power supply. I will be using the EVGA's 600 BQ just because that's what I have on hand. But you can see the price here, $69 on Amazon. So next thing to look at is your graphics card. This is the most important thing when building a gaming and streaming build. It's real easy to overspend because the product stack on graphics cards is so wide right now. And then, like I said in some of my other videos, new graphics cards are on the horizon. Like, they are right there. But if you're building something in this price range, the new stuff isn't going to matter. And I'll tell you why right now. The one I recommend right now is the Tough Gaming OC edition because of the price. It comes in at $229. This is the cheapest 1660 Super I've found. Mine was actually $249.99, but I can't even find it anymore. Like the week I got it, they all started selling out like crazy. I mean, look at this thing. This is gorgeous. Like, it's really nice, clean design. It has a really nice backplate on it. But the things you're going to be most interested in with this type of thing, with looking at this graphics card, is a few small things. The 1660 Supers come with GDDR6 memory. The regular 1660s do not come with that. And then 1650s as well. So I'm recommending this one because of the price point, what you're getting for that level of your price. You want to find something that has the NV encoder built into it because of streaming. This is why I'm recommending this gaming and streaming build, and this is the graphics card I'd say to use because you've got the NV encoder, you have GDDR6 memory, which is the faster bandwidth memory. I chose this Strix model because it has so many other little features. It has the backplate, so it actually has this small BIOS switch to go to quiet mode or performance mode. It's pretty clever that they've designed that. So it depends on what your target is. If you don't mind noise and you want the best performance out of it, you just flip that switch over and you're good to go. It also has a thing called Fan Connect. It's a PWM fan header on the end of the graphics card, and you can plug in your front fan or something wherever you have the fans positioned to be able to feed air to the graphics card, you know, the most direct route. You can actually plug that PWM fan into the graphics card, and when the graphics card ramps up, that fan will ramp up as well. That's a really neat feature. But like I said, any 1660 Super will do for what you're trying to get out of this. If you're trying to just to keep my budget in check, I chose this Tough Gaming Edition because it is the cheapest 1660 Super you can get right now. The new graphics cards coming out, the RTX 3000 series, whatever you want to call them, they're not going to affect these that much because they're shooting for the higher end cards to begin with. Your 2080 Ti replacement, your 2080 replacement, even the 2070 and 2060s, they're going to come out towards October, November timeframe, they're saying. This is going to be your budget streaming and gaming card for the foreseeable future right now. So our last choice for the build is the case. Because I chose a micro ATX motherboard, I chose a micro ATX case. I like to fill the entire case motherboard tray with the motherboard. I don't like to choose a full-size case and have the motherboard be tiny. It kind of looks funny to me. There's two variants. There's one that I've chosen with the fine mesh front panel, and the other one has a gloss front panel. The airflow on the gloss front panel is not as good because you're only getting airflow through these side vents on it. This is completely mesh in the front. It comes with two ARGB fans to push air across your components. You can see in the little build here, they threw a fan in the back for exhaust as well. If you want to do that, it's like 10 bucks more for a fan, maybe 20 bucks if you want to do their RGB one. That's up to you. I did not choose it for this build. This case comes in at $59.99 USD, and it has a tempered glass side panel. It has a shroud for your power supply underneath. I'll get into it when I actually do the build, showing around the case itself, but this is one of the best choice cases that I could see. You have extra storage in the bottom of the tray here for your hard drive cage if you want to expand for big hard drives later on. You even have water cooling support for radiators. You're not going to be limited on this case whatsoever, and it's really good quality for how cheap the price is. I mean, $60 for all of these options, as well as good airflow, and the look is beautiful. Okay, I told you to stick around for a couple little secrets when you're buying these parts, and here they are. This is the best price of parts that I could find and not skimp on things. I could have cut down on a lower power supply, a 450 watt, saved some money there. I could have cut down the graphics card and done a 1650 Super, saved some price there. I could have not gone with NVMe. I could have done a 240 gig regular SSD for like 40 bucks or something like that. But if you look at it, you're paying $20 more for double the storage, and it's NVMe. The whole price for the build comes in at under $800. Like I said, you can see right here, $773.92. That's USD. The biggest things that I would say not to cheap out on is your power supply, your motherboard, and your operating system hard drive. Those are the hardest things to change later on. A friend of mine recommended this to me a long time ago, and I continue to stick with those three things as priority every time I do a build. Your motherboard and your hard drive map your OS together, and sometimes when you change one of those components out, your OS will deactivate and you'll have to reactivate Windows or get a new CD key to be able to update Windows or activate Windows. A couple people asked me if I had a Twitter account for the channel. I did not. I'm actually just learning how to get into all of the social media stuff. I guess I'm kind of dating myself age-wise, but I just hadn't used it until this point where I actually have a reason to. So I made a Twitter account. It's pretty simple. I'm just going to use it to show when the videos come live. If you don't have notifications on YouTube, you can check it out on Twitter, and I'll leave the links for everything like that. And then if you want to chat about things, you can always hit me up and ask questions or show me things that you would like videos about in the future. So you can check it out down below. It's just Danny's Tech Channel on Twitter. I'll leave a link in the description. If you want to see the follow-up to this, you can check it out next week when I do the actual build and some benchmarks on it. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll catch you in the next one.
If I fall down and don't get up, nobody would care, yeah. Don't wanna be alone anymore.